If you have a friend or friends that are trans, or maybe you just want to educate yourself more about trans people, then I'm glad to have you here. And this video is going to be beneficial for you. So, today I want to talk about jokes you should never make about trans people, speaking from personal experience. So, I actually consider myself as a non sensitive person. You can pretty much make jokes about me, with almost everything. Like, I'm not going to be offended. You can call me fat, you can call me ugly, you can make jokes about my acne, my family, my job, literally everything. You can say I have dandruff, you can say I look masculine. I can take it. I am the type of person who even laughs at myself. I do. Like when I gained a lot of weight, I a lot of the times would look in the mirror and laugh at myself because I've never seen myself that fat. And I don't really take it seriously. It's a joke. No big deal. So I consider myself pretty bulletproof when it comes to that. Like, I'm pretty secure and I guess confident with myself that any kind of joke thrown at me, I would just laugh at it. Except for one thing, and that is my genitals. This triggers my dysphoria so much. Like, again, you can make jokes about everything about me, everything except this one part. This is the body part that I didn't choose to be born with. This is a body part that I continuously struggle since I was a kid. Like, when I look in the mirror, I still feel like I'm a freak. I have come to terms with it. I'm fairly comfortable with it now, but I am never going to be fully 100% confident that I have it. I'm never going to be 100% comfortable with having this body part in my life. It has definitely, I'm 33 now, so I've definitely accepted it, but at the same time, I'm just never going to be able to be fully comfortable with it. I know the solution to that would be having SRS. However, I do not want to do that because I feel the risk benefit ratio is just not worth it. There's so much more risk at stake and complications and infections when doing SRS. You just never know. It's a case to case basis. For some people it goes really well. For some it doesn't, and that is something that they would have to deal with, from that point on, permanently, as long as they live. And I don't want to take that risk. I am uncomfortable with it, but not too uncomfortable to the point where I would be willing to undergo surgery and have more complications down the line, if that makes sense. So the reason why I get so offended about people making jokes about this is because this isn't something that I can control. Unlike if they made fun about my weight, well, then okay, that's fine because I can lose the weight, right? I made myself gain weight. So if they're making fun of that, that is totally something that I can change about myself. I'm not completely helpless when it comes to losing the weight. So that's fine. If they say I have bad skin, I can do something about that as well, right? I can take supplements. I can try to use different products. If they say I have bad breath, bad body odor, there's so many things that I can do to fix whatever it is that I'm being made fun of. except for that, right? Like the way I see it is like I can compare it to somebody making fun of somebody's disability. Like if somebody is crippled and you make fun of them, like, do you think that's actually a good joke? Like, because that's how I see it. Like, this is something that I didn't choose for myself. I was born with it. And, you have no idea what it's like, how it feels like to, have body parts that you are so kind of uncomfortable with, to the point where we tuck it every single day. Well, I do. Okay, not every trans person does that, but I do, because I'm trying to present as a woman. Like, just imagine making fun of somebody's body part that, somebody tries desperately to hide and conceal, to, for people not to notice it, and you fully exposing it and making jokes about it. Like, how much of an asshole are you? Like, you are making jokes at the expense of somebody's despair. Straight people will never understand what it's like to be trans, and that's okay. Like, how could you possibly understand what it feels like to be trans? You can't. Unless you have gender dysphoria, you will never understand, but that's okay. You don't need to understand what it's like to be trans. You just have to respect it. You don't have to understand it to respect it. To have respect for trans people. So when people make jokes about my genitals in public, it makes me extremely dysphoric. It makes me feel extremely uncomfortable, and it makes me feel really bad about my body. And like, no trans person really deserves that. No trans person deserves to feel bad about themselves, about their bodies. Like, we already feel that every single day, right? And we try, as trans women, we try our best to present ourselves as women. I tuck, I wear a dress, I wear skirts, I have long hair. And then for you to make fun of my gender in public where other people can hear you, fuck you. Fuck you. Not only are you being so disrespectful, but you are also being incredibly rude. You are a jerk. You're an asshole for making fun of that. Like, why can't you make jokes about anything else? Is it because that's the only joke that you have on me? Is that I'm trans? Like, you can't joke about anything else about me? So what I do in these types of situations, when it's like a coworker or a friend that does this to me, I will let them know how I feel. And I would let them know how I feel, and, try to explain to them, like, as clear as possible what it's like for me when they make jokes like that. And, hopefully that works. If it doesn't work, then that would be the time where I would have to take action. If words and talking does not work and they still do it, it still persists, they still make jokes about it, that means that talking doesn't work. So you have to take action. So if you have a friend or friends that are trans, please try to be sensitive about these types of jokes, and try to think to yourself, is it really worth it for me to make this joke? Is it worth losing a friend? Is it worth offending other people? Is it worth hurting other people and making them feel bad about their bodies? Like, geez, like, for crying out loud, some people even commit suicide just because, being trans is so hard. Do you really want to contribute to that? Is this joke actually funny? Maybe it's just funny for you. You know what? I would even appreciate it. Like, if they would make jokes about that behind my back, that's fine. That's okay. I would much rather prefer that, because I wouldn't have to hear it, rather than them doing the joke while I'm presently there. It's as if they also expect for me to laugh along with them. Like, are you fucking sick? When people make jokes like this about my genitals, it makes me want to reconsider SRS. It makes me think that, okay, maybe if I get it, then, they would just stop because then they would have nothing to joke about. But like, I shouldn't do it for other people, right? If I'm ever going to do it, it should be for myself. I shouldn't have to like change my body for other people. Like that's just not a good mindset. And as friends, like you should not making your friend feel this way about their bodies. So please just be sensitive, be thoughtful, and try to think your jokes over when you are joking about a trans person. Try to really think if your jokes are going to be offensive or, funny. I mean, you can, like for me personally, like what I've said, like I'm pretty wide open. Like make jokes all you want. I'm even gonna laugh with you. But I do have boundaries. There are, certain things that I just don't find funny. I'm not saying you cannot make jokes about trans people, period. You can. It's just that, personally, like genitals for me are kind of off limits. I don't find it funny at all whatsoever. So final thoughts on this video is if you have a trans friend or friends and you want to make jokes about their transness, please just be careful, be sensitive, be thoughtful, and try to take a minute to think, if this is actually a funny joke. Is it going to offend this person? Because you don't understand what a trans person goes through. Do not make jokes that will trigger their dysphoria. So it might be actually a good idea to talk to your friend about it. Like what triggers your dysphoria so that you know what jokes you can and cannot make. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.